Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting. Envisioned Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success. An affiliate of Direct Impact Broadcasting and Creative Broadcasting, presenting the Empower Hour with Jaresha, a show that shares the stories behind the journeys of leaders, influencers, and motivators. The Empower Hour with Jaresha begins now.
Welcome to Empower Hour with Jaresha. I am your host, Jaresha Moore. A little bit about myself. I am a best-selling author with over 18 years of combined experience in education, finance, healthcare, business management, and development. Owner and founder of Empower on Purpose, LLC, where we provide personal and professional coaching and consulting services. Certified coach, speaker, and trainer with the John Maxwell team, and owner of Envisioned Broadcasting radio station. Before I introduce my guest this evening, I would like to announce an upcoming workshop sponsored by Empower on Purpose. It is a networking virtual vision board workshop that is being offered every first Sunday of the month. The next one is actually July 7th. This is a goal-setting vision board workshop and online networking event. You know, we are almost approaching the 7-month mark in 2019, and it's not too late to level up and get focused. During the workshop, you will learn a proven framework to help you tap into your true desires and dreams, use those desires to set intentional goals, and then outline an achievable plan. You will break all traditional goal-setting philosophies during this intro workshop. You will also get countless worksheets that will help you in completing your vision board effortlessly. Register today to enjoy an atmosphere with great vibration, laughter, fun, while you write your visions with power and purpose. To register or to find out more details, please visit www.empoweronpurpose.com. So this week's empowerment quote is by Ashley Reichert. The power you have is to be the best version of yourself you can be, so you can create a better world. This quote is just simply awesome and fabulous. Every single day, you must strive to be fierce, fabulous, and fearless. It is so important for you to wake up each morning already believing in yourself. You have to decree and declare each day that today I'm going to be the best self, the best version of myself, and I'm going to be better than I was the day before, because we all have a purpose and a calling. We are called for a higher purpose. And at the end of the day, you never know who's watching you. I think of all of the children, the young adults that are watching every single move you make. So why not make sure it's going to be the best and allowing the best version of you to shine? I would challenge everyone that is listening today to ask yourself 3 questions each day before you start your work day. One of the questions is, what is your intentions for today? Question number 2, how will you empower yourself and others? Question number 3, how can you be a better you today than yesterday? And it doesn't stop there. So in the evening, when you have that reflection time, come back and ask yourself 3 additional questions. The question number 1 is, were you intentional today? 2, did you empower yourself and others? And then 3, are you okay with the version of yourself that you allowed to shine today? All of these are very powerful questions to help you empower that best version of yourself. So without further delay, today my guest is Jameela Allen. A little bit about Jameela. Jameela Allen is the founder and CEO of Simba Creative Learning, a Chamber of Commerce finalist for the Best Small Business in Prince George's County, Maryland. Simba is a national accredited and result-driven early learning center employing 30 staff and servicing 136 children ages 6 weeks to 12 years old. With the revenues growing on an average of 18% per year, Jameela has transformed Simba CLC from $300,000 a year to $1.7 million in 2018 with only 1 location. Jameela is absolutely an amazing CEO, and she's also a certified speaker, coach, trainer, and teacher with the John Maxwell team. Welcome, Jameela. How are you this evening?
Welcome, Jaresha. Thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful introduction. I'm doing well.
Awesome. So thank you so much for being on the show today. I am so excited to have you on the show. You're absolutely amazing. And just a little sidebar, Jameela and I met the early part of the year at a JMT conference, and we both were so ready to learn and eager to grow and add value to others. I just want to say that you are truly doing some amazing things. So if you could please share with the listeners a little bit more about your journey and background and how you came to do all of the amazing things that you're doing now.
I am absolutely excited to share my journey with you. I have to calm myself down because when I talk about my passion, which is child care, I tend to get overly excited. So just let me just get real centered, because my only purpose for these few minutes is to inspire. I want to touch the hearts of our listeners so that they will be compelled to do something powerful and different that would change the trajectory of their businesses. So I just need to get myself centered because I'm just excited to be here tonight.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So at the age of 17, while attending West Virginia State University in the early 90s, I had the privilege to work at the child care center located on campus. The center was primarily utilized at that time for the faculty and the students who had children. And I can remember, Jaresha, being so excited when I met the president of the university's 2-year-old for the very first time. She was actually in my class.
Wow.
I felt so proud when her parents would come and pick her up, and just knowing that this prestigious couple trusted the staff with their most precious jewel made me feel happy, just happy inside. And to know that she was actually their only child.
Wow.
To put the icing on the cake, their only child. This was a huge responsibility for me as a freshman, and I didn't take my job for granted. I enjoyed every moment I spent at work as a 17-year-old. I felt something that I had never, ever felt before, and I was drawn to the children. I really enjoyed playing with them in the centers and asking them open-ended questions. It just melted my heart. So that experience that I gained while working at that child care facility at the age of 17 was really the beginning stages of my journey to wanting to own my own child care center. The director, Ms. Dolores Davis, I just recently saw her last year, and I had not seen her since I left college. She was she's very, very dear to my heart because she showed me what excellence looked like. Because growing up, all I can remember is how the neighborhood child care center back at home looked. I remember how it smelled. I remember when I would drop my nieces off, the dirty carpet, the bad lighting, and the broken toys, the overly used toys that were lying on the dirty carpet. That was embedded in my mind up until that time I started working with Mrs. Davis, and my heart had just opened up. And at that time, without a shadow of a doubt, I knew what my purpose was. I knew.
Absolutely.
I knew it.
That's awesome.
I knew my purpose. So it's a little story because you got to get the background to get it. So I decided to change my major to elementary education in order to dig deeper into understanding the whole child. So I went on to teach for 10 years as a special ed teacher. While teaching, I noticed that I was very particular about how I set up my classroom environment. I was overprotected of my students. I wanted them to have the same opportunities as the regular students, and they did. And as a very young teacher, this was back in the early 2000s, I received the title of Teacher of the Year while working at an all-special ed school with children with disabilities. So
that's awesome.
So when I talked to some of my colleagues from early on, they would tell me of all these particular things that were in me as a very young person, but I still didn't know. I had that yearning, but so during the early years of my career, I had done some things that would prepare me, I thought would prepare me for being my own boss. So in 2001, I decided to start a 501c3 in order to test the waters to see how it really felt to be an entrepreneur. That was the birth of Simba Enrichment Academy. And I did that for about 8 years. We provided free year-round programming for at-risk children and provided a safe place for them to go after school. However, that experience did not satisfy my burning desire of wanting to own my own child care center. I wanted that building. I wanted to have total control over how I operated my business. So I thought. So while working for DC Public Schools, I operated the nonprofit with 2 other colleagues, and then I continued to visualize owning my own child care facility. I visualized that I would find myself doodling during my lunch break how I wanted my child care center to look. I would visualize, I would close my eyes, and I could feel it. I saw the colors on the wall, and I knew how I wanted it to smell. And when I told people, it is so important to be still, because when in that stillness, Jaresha, you just everything just comes.
Yeah,
so I think,
absolutely.
Yeah. So that is pretty much the beginning stages. I decided to quit my government job after hearing a testimony in, I think it was 2007 during watch night, and I was able to pull $300,000 out of my home to birth my business, and it happened 18 years later.
Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely. Some of the things that you mentioned that I just want to point out that, is so important is the fact that you mentioned that you visualize your dream. Visualization is so important. You've seen it. You had, you think of the vision boards and just, putting things on, putting your dreams and your ideas and then being able to look at it each day. That's so important. And then the importance of, being still. It's so important just to have those quiet moments to reflect and, yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for sharing your journey. I would love to hear more about some of the programs that you offer at Simba Creative Learning Center.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. All right. So Simba is an amazing place to nurture children. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the owner. I'm saying it because I see it and I hear it from a parent. So my number one goal is to provide excellence. Our vision is to exceed our parents' expectations from beginning to end. So I constantly think about how to make things fresh and new during my meditation, during that stillness. And it may come in the wee hours in the morning when I'm just still. So we provide our families with 5 extracurricular activities. And remember, we service children 6 weeks to 12 years old. So mainly our babies are 6 weeks to 4. Then they go to school, and we do before and after care. So we want to expose our children to an array of activities that they may not necessarily get. So we have lessons from abroad. That's our emerging Spanish program. We do poetry, poet life, music, creative art, and Zumba. Those are all included.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love Zumba.
Zumba is so cute. The 2-year-old is just amazing. And then we also include all diapers and wipes and meals.
Wow.
And parents have the opportunity to select additional activities for fee, which is chess, Mandarin, robotic engineering, yoga, ballet, jazz, martial arts, science, and organic gardening. So I'm just always adding on to the list, but I just love that one-stop shop. So that's Simba for you. And we try to post on Facebook some of our activities. Hopefully, I'm sure you're following us. You can see some of the things.
Absolutely. That is amazing. Some of the programs that you offer, all of the programs that you offer,
I know.
For your children from babies all the way up to, that's up to 12. That's really
cute.
impressive.
It's just amazing to see them being active. And we just started on robotic engineering class last week, and I'm just blown away with the facilitator. I'm like, this is it.
Yes.
This is what are my expectations.
Absolutely. I mean, because truly, starts, kids nowadays are picking up everything. They're learning so fast. I think about my youngest who is 6, but when she was even younger than that, and how, the different things that we expose them to, if you create an environment that is going to be conducive for, for learning and adding different programs, kids will learn fast and they want to learn. So that's amazing. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome. So then your business is also the Chamber of Commerce finalist for the best small business in Prince George's County, Maryland. What requirements did you have to meet to, receive that position?
Yes. So we were selected as one of the 3 finalists being recognized for Excellence in Business Award with the Prince George's Chamber of Commerce. And, it was the application process. One of our parents had nominated us. And they looked at our business growth, our community outreach initiatives. They looked at how many staff we employed, how long we were in business, and our overall business practices. They also looked into the reputation within the community, and I was just so extremely honored. I was thrown back. I was extremely honored to just be amongst the stars, because 3 of us out of all of the 100 applicants, we celebrated.
Absolutely, as you should. Yes. Absolutely. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome. So then, as a business owner, we know that there's both wins and successes, but and there's also obstacles, challenges, and then disappointments. Can you share one of the challenges that you have faced, as a business owner, and how you've overcame it?
Absolutely. I always tell people business is business. It doesn't matter if you own a barber shop, if you have a grocery store, if you have a dance school. We all pretty much have the same issues, and 9 times out of 10 it's staff. 9 times out of 10 is staff. So I used to hire out of desperation and panic, which was my biggest staffing challenge, because in child care, we must maintain child-to-teacher ratio. So we will hire someone without following any particular training processes to fill that licensing obligation. And I would say we were winging it for a long time, because as business owners, we don't have time nor the energy to train on top of everything else that's on our plate. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Training is very time-consuming. And the last thing I was thinking about, so they had training on the job as they go. But I actually changed my onboarding process after sharing my pains with one of my coaches. She told me how she onboards her staff. So I implemented my own rigorous onboarding 90-day process. And so I now have a personnel committee that trains, mentors, and guides our new employees along the way. And if any of the listeners want a copy of my process, they may contact me after the show. But this process has allowed me to only work 2 days a week. And lately, I've been going to work. Lately I've been going to work 1 day a week, because I have the right people in place. I have the right 30 staff in place that help me every day to exceed my parents' expectations. And I don't want to seem like we don't have issues, because in business, you're going to have issues. It's all in how you handle the issues.
That's right.
We quickly put the fire out. We have issues all the time, but because we've had so many experiences over the years, they don't feel the same anymore, because we know how to deal with them. So we've learned from mistakes. So the ones that pop up, we're like, we dealt with that 5 years ago. Okay, this is how we're going to handle it, and it's easier. So doing this 90-day process, it's amazing. When you have that experience on your belt, it doesn't even bother you as much as before. I know before I used to lose sleep, and I was so overwhelmed and challenged. But so So now I meet with my new team members. I do the 30, 60, and 90-day check-in with the new staff, with the new team members, to see if they're following proper procedures and turning in assignments in a timely manner, because they have homework to do during this 90-day process. So it's a time for me. Yeah, it's a time for me to create long and short-term goals with them, because at Simba, you must continue to bring value to yourself.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because just on Monday, Wednesday, on Monday, I had just listed one of my new staff we talked about her long-term goals as a new team member, and I told her that I wanted her to research home ownership. And she was so excited to share with me the last time I saw her that the information that she found. And I thought to myself, these young ladies just need a little push and someone to believe in them. I'm telling you, because my motto with them is, if I can own a house at 25, so can you.
That's
so
right.
I was just overjoyed for her to be, she was so excited. She said, Miss Allen, I did my homework. I said, okay, that's your long-term goal. We're going to sit down and what's your next step? Because I have to empower them as I am empowered. So that just brings joy to me. But the challenge is staffing.
Absolutely. Well, I will say that I think that is awesome, and I definitely commend you for, just taking the step to, implement a program to where you're able to have staff, where you're able to work on, those short-term, long-term goals. That's on a professional level and a personal level. I think that's so important, for the workplace. And I think that, that's awesome that you're actually, allowing, your team and yourself to come together and have those programs that's going to help empower them for growth.
Yeah, most definitely, because I tell you have to bring value to yourself. That's what I had to learn with my business. In order to raise the rate, we have to talk about how we're going to give the parents more than what they're paying for, and at least make them think they get more. But you have to give them the value.
Absolutely. So kind of stand along those lines. So what is the one thing that you wish you had known when you had started out?
The one thing I wish I would have known about the law of the lid. Are you familiar with the law of the lid with John Maxwell?
I would love for you to share.
The law of the lid, prior to me understanding the law of the lid, I used to make excuses. And I used to blame. I used to play the blame game with my staff, with myself. And once I understood the law of the lid, meaning that my business cannot grow no more than what I know. So if my business is at between a 1 and a 10 and I'm at a level of a 4, my business won't be able to exceed more than a 3. So I am operating on a level 3 because I don't know anymore. So the law of the lid states that you have to bring value to yourself in order to lead your staff, in order to see a difference in what you're doing. And once I was able to do that, that's when I saw my leadership skills started to change, and my bottom line also started to change. So you have to do things. You have to read books. You have to get into these mastermind groups. You have to pay for a coach that can show you the way, because if you're stuck at a 3, you're never going to be able to get 10 and 9s to work for you, because they're going to immediately see that you don't know that much. They're going to be looking at you like, where did it come from? So
exactly. That's good.
It's the first law of leadership for under the John Maxwell team.
That's
it's
good.
Called the law of the lid, and I wish I understood that a long time ago, because I would have started getting some help a long time ago, because I was stuck.
Absolutely. And I know you mentioned, mentors and coaches, and, just to kind of expand on that a little bit more, I know that, being a coach, both of us being a coach, we know how important it is, to have coaches. But could you kind of, and how important it is not to only have coaches, but to be a coach to other people, could you kind of expand a little bit more or share a little bit more how just having that coach for yourself has really, or having several coaches, has truly impacted your life and, your business?
I have a coach. I have a life coach. I have a business coach, a marketing coach, a branding coach. But coaches are able to see our blind spots because you don't know what you don't know. Coaches, I'm telling you, coaches hold us accountable. It's a safe place for me to vent and share my challenges without being judged. I'm able to have someone to help wipe away the tears and guide me to a more place of peace. I enjoy the homework assignments based on my business needs, and I have to do the work. When you have a coach, don't expect your coach to do the work for you. And a lot of people think, they're going to just give me everything. I want your systems. I want this. So if anybody think that's what they're going to get from Jameela Allen, no, we're going to do the work together, because if I do it doesn't work. I just love that process of getting that homework assignment, and we set goals together with timelines. I was on the phone yesterday with one of my accountability coaches, and he was like, okay, Jameela, when you going to launch a podcast? And I'm like, I gave him a list of everything I had on my head. I said, I'm sorry. Okay, let's stick with this date. And he was like, okay, because you want to.
Yes.
They keep you in place. He was like, okay, so when are you going to be finished with your content? I said, I'm writing it down. I said, that's why I have you on my team, because you go put me in my place.
Yes, it's that built-in support system. Absolutely.
So the coaches, I remember when Denver first crossed the $1 million mark, and my CPA asked me, how did I do it? With such a large increase from the year before. And I asked her, I said, did you pay attention to the bottom line? Did you see how much money I spent on personal development? I spent a lot of money that previous year on coaches, masterminds, conferences, retreats, which ultimately increased my leadership skills, which ultimately increased my bottom line on my tax return. I swear to God. Absolutely. And I only like to swear. I wish my CPA could be on this phone right now.
Yes.
What did you? I said, did you see how much money I spent? It was just so amazing because it just connects. At that moment, I connected too. I was like, this stuff do work.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Absolutely.
And ever since I've invested in coaches, my increase, because I know more, I learn more, I do things differently. Lord, if I was doing this by myself, I'd probably still be where I was, still doing what I thought was right. But it's all in, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. What you don't know.
That's right. Absolutely. Completely agree with that. I think that is so important. Mentors and coaches are extremely important. And the fact that, you mentioned that you have several. Oftentimes it's a lot of times it's as many as it takes, for you to really, for your business, for your, from a financial standpoint, from, like you mentioned, a marketing coach, as many coaches as it takes, that accountability piece.
I just hired the accountability one. I didn't even know about accountability one. It's like, I said, okay, how much it costs? And as he calls more and more, I said, I need to hire you for more stuff. Like when you talk to these coaches and you see the wealth of knowledge that they have, I was like, I need you after we're done with this.
Absolutely.
If we're actually working on something new, the accountability stuff is still there, but I was like, man, you smart. I was like, you want to teach me this? Oh, yeah. How much it costs? I don't even care. Because people going to pay for nothing. People will pay you for your knowledge.
That's right. But the important thing is you have to do the work. You have to be committed. You have to want to, make the changes. You have to, be invested in, with your time, with your, certainly with money, but, with the time, because you have to put in the work. Because at the end of the day, it's good to have that mentor and coach, but you have to put in the work as well.
When people think it's going to just come out the sky, and they think it's instant. It's not instant. It's not microwave. It's more of a crock pot. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen by talking to me one time over the phone. It's a process. It's a mindset. You will start seeing the little changes. I'm telling you, I've started doing things so much differently now. I was high strung. People who started with me in 2007, my parents, they probably say, this is a changed woman. Because I was so stressed and challenged to the max, doing everything myself. I went to the hospital. I was so stressed. I had to go to the hospital. My heart was hurting. I was just like, this is about to kill me.
Yes.
I'm telling you. So it's important to get someone on your team, somebody who can actually guide you through the process. Make it a lot easier, a little bit, just a little bit easier.
That's right. Absolutely. So what has been the most rewarding part of being a business owner for you?
That's a good question. I think the most rewarding part of being a business owner is knowing that as I climb the ladder of success, I can take my team with me.
Absolutely. But that's all a part of being a great leader.
Yes. So I often remind them that as I grow, you will grow. I'm their professor. I tell them all the time, I'm your professor. I'm going to teach you what I've learned. I teach them what I learned when we had Simba University. I teach them what I learned from my coaches and motivational speakers. I often have my admin team travel with me. I remember years ago my director said, I want to start learning this when I couldn't afford to do it. I think it's time for me to start. So not only am I taking her, I have 3 other people on my admin team. So 4 of us, traveling, and they're getting some of the same knowledge I'm getting. So I teach them what I've learned. So, I do know that people will follow you when they value you, when you value them, when you connect with their hearts. This is when relationships are starting to form. This is when people begin to want to follow you because they want to and not because they have to. Because if people follow you or follow us when they have to, those are the staff that leave on time. They don't give up any extra time to the business. But when people follow you because they trust you and they genuinely like you, it's amazing what they would do. I see it. I've experienced both. I've experienced myself following me because I demanded it. I'm the owner. You're going to do what I say. But when I changed their whole mindset and I started being friends with them, and I used to say I was fraternizing with myself. They didn't even know where I lived for many years. They are my family. These girls, I love them. I tell them I appreciate you. I work 1 day a week. Why wouldn't I? My business is doing pretty well. I compensate them. You know what I mean? They're not making no minimum wage. They make what they ask me for. I tell people all the time. They ask. I said, how much money you want to make? And I said, how are we going to get there? And we talk about it. And the ones that do what they're supposed to do, they have exceeded that number they said in my mind, because I tell them, as Simba grows, you grow. This is not my money. This is our money, because you have children, you have husbands, you have a house, you have a car. You shouldn't be living in poverty, working for me.
That's right.
That's my mindset.
Absolutely. I think that's amazing. Awesome. So I don't want to ignore the fact that you're a coach, speaker, trainer, and teacher with the John Maxwell team. Can you share more about, being a part of the JMT and how being a coach has, truly impacted your life and your business?
Oh, wow. So JMT, that's a whole nother. So having the most influential leader in the world as our mentor and coach is still unreal. I think I pinched myself. I was on a plane with John Maxwell coming home. I was just like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's just amazing. Like, this is the man I used to, I listen to his books and I watch his sermons. It's unreal, but however, I'm taking it in as it comes. I look forward to the journey, as that is a hit for both of us as we continue to learn and grow with the JMT team. But now that I'm certified through John Maxwell, the bar has been lifted way, way up there. My mindset has changed as I continue to study the programs provided to us and continue to learn from John Books and his faculty member. It's just it's just unreal. I now have the responsibility to add value to other people, companies, organizations. I now have the responsibility to lead by living intentionally. He always talks about that, right? And coaching others on how to maximize their true potential and purpose in life. So the bar is just always up there, and I'm ready. I'm ready. So
absolutely,
just to be in that man's space, honey. When we were in Paraguay, I was just like, I cannot believe I'm in South America with John Maxwell. Like sitting here eating with him and talking to him, like this man is amazing.
Absolutely.
You were at the conference, so you know how personable he is with us.
Yes, and I think it's truly a blessing to be a part of, the JMT. I can say that it's opened up so many opportunities to connect with so many people all over the world. My goodness, and just even thinking back to when we were at the conference in Florida, I don't think I've ever been in the room with so many people who share the same goal. And it's not about competing with another. It's not about trying to be better than someone else. It's not about comparing our journeys to each other. It's all about adding value to others. And, how can we collaborate and support each other? So it's truly been nothing but an amazing journey. And like you mentioned, I definitely look forward to, what's ahead.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and just the whole, the wealth of information that they open up to us. I can't keep up. I'm just like, how do you get through all these modules of listening and learning? It's like overflowing with greatness.
Yes.
So I'm just happy to be able to be on the team.
Absolutely. Yes. I can say the same for myself. I love it. Absolutely love it.
And to be on the phone with him when we go through some of the modules and they, make the announcement that John Maxwell is going to be on the phone, get on the line and he's going to, it's amazing. But, yeah.
It is. Absolutely. So today the empowerment quote was, the power you have is to be the best version of yourself you can be. So you can create a better world by Ashley Reichertz. Can you share with the listeners what this quote really means to you?
Can you repeat the quote again? I'm sorry.
I sure can. The power you have to be the best version of yourself you can be, so you can create a better world.
I believe and think that we all must be intentionally doing things that will bring value to ourselves. Such as committing to learning new things each day. We should never stop learning. Warren Buffett, I think it was Warren Buffett, said that the more you learn, the more you earn. The more you earn, the more ways you will have. The more ways you will have, you will be able to find freedom to make a difference in the world. People often say that it's not about the money. They always say it's not about the money. But I do know that money allows us to have the resources to send our children to the best schools. It allowed me to surprise my mom with a new car. Money allows us to hire staff so they can support their families. Money allows us to take vacations. It allowed me to adopt a child from Africa and support her financial needs. So money allows it allows me to provide my staff with health benefits, life insurance, retirement plan. So, yes, it is all about the money. But you have to be intentional in how you bring value to yourself so you can create a better world for yourself and the people around you. So it means to me to be intentional, such as, like I said, committing to learning something new, committing to adding more value to yourself so you can earn more money.
Absolutely.
And you can help your family. Like I helped my mom. I was so happy to do that for her.
I know that's absolutely amazing that you were able to do that. I'm sure she was just so overcome with joy and that's amazing that you're able to do that for your mom. So what do you feel like, or who I should say, has been the biggest influence on your life, and what lessons did that person teach you?
I would have to say my parents played a major part in who I am today. My mother is something else. My mother taught me at a very, very young age that nothing is free. So as a teenager, I'm telling you, this is the truth. So as a teenager, I had to pay my mom rent, which was $200 a month. I had a job ever since I was 14, but you are not walking into my mama's house and not contribute to the bill. So I paid my own phone bill, and at that time we didn't have cell phones. We had the landline. I had my little phone in my room, and I was responsible for my bills. So I know by me paying my mother rent at such a young age taught me how to be financially responsible with my spending. And that taught me at 25, because I don't know too many people. There's some folks out here, but at 25, I was able to buy my first house, and that first house allowed me to finance my business. It's just like bigger than that. It's just go on and on. So I thank my mom for teaching me responsibility and how to pay my bills on time, because if it was doing the first, put the money on the table. You have to pay everybody on the second or the third. So that helped me. I know my bills are due on the first. I give my mom, put the money on the table. So
that's right.
And that it's the truth. So and my dad has always supported me, and he has taught me to work hard. Taught me that to work hard at a young age, and always do my best. He often say to me, "Don't sweat the small stuff." Don't sweat the small stuff. So I would say my parents has really influenced me.
Absolutely. So then, what is one piece of advice you would give our listeners on how they can empower their own growth and success journey?
I always love the word perseverance. So in order to grow, one must be able to persevere during tough times. Because in business, honey, there is going to be times when you want to throw in the towel, because running a business is an emotional roller coaster. It's extremely hard. And if you're not passionate, and if you don't have that perseverance in you, it's easy for you to just say, forget it, I'm done. So my dad said to me, again, often he says to me when I'm going to him and murmuring and complaining, he'll say, if it was easy, Jameela, more people will be doing it. Like, okay. So it's just amazing that perseverance will get you over that hump. And also, I have, when I feel overwhelmed and stressed, I think about my purpose. And I think about Miss Johnson, and I shared this story at graduation last year. And she was there, her youngest baby was graduating. Miss Johnson attended Thimba as a homeless family. Her family was homeless. And one day, it was about 4 years ago, she stopped me in the hall, and it was one of them days I was like done. I needed a beer, and I don't even drink. She stopped me in the hall, and she was in tears, and she said, "Thank you, Miss Allen, for Thimba." She said, "Thank you, Miss Allen, for Thimba, because this is the best thing I can offer my children." And at that point, we both had tears flowing. So whenever I think about giving up, oh, my gosh, I think about baby Riley and LeBryant, and I push a little harder, because what we have created at Thimba doesn't have anything to do with me. I wish I can't do this without the one above. I'm just God's angel, being a vessel and obedient, because if it wasn't for the one above giving me the strength, I wouldn't be doing it. It's hard work.
That's right.
It's very, very overwhelming at times, but sometimes I have to stop my murmuring and complaining and just like, really, Jameela, who do you think you are? You are changing the lives of staff, creating relationships, hundreds of children coming through, receiving outstanding care, and God has protected me, protected my business. You watch the news, stuff goes on every day. He protects me. He protects my mind. He protects my soul. So I know without a shadow of a doubt that this is my purpose. And I'm going to keep pushing, because when I think about Ms. Johnson, and when she came to me, and Ms. Johnson, I don't know how she paid tuition. We laughed at graduation last year. I said, Ms. Johnson, I still don't know to this day how you pay tuition. She said, girl, you don't want to know. But she said, I had to do what I needed to do for my baby to be here. And it's crazy. It's funny, because she just brought them back for summer camp. They're now older. And I love her dearly, and I just say I have to, when I think about this woman stopping me, and she said this is the best thing I can give her. Do you know how that makes me feel as a business owner, knowing how stressful this whole process is, and for her to just stop me and say, this is all I have, Denver. I quickly got I said, oh, okay, thank you. I got you.
Absolutely.
This is all
what a blessing.
Baby. That did something to my soul.
Yes, that's an absolute blessing.
That was amazing. So I'm not sure how much time I have, but I can tell another quick story about my first encounter with perseverance, but I don't know. I don't know how much.
Please share.
Okay. So
please share.
A lot of people heard my story before. So in order to become a school teacher, you have to pass the practice test, which I didn't know. I was a senior year in college, and I couldn't pass the math part of the test. So I decided, well, I didn't decide. I had to come home because I didn't have any more classes to take. I had to find my high school math teacher, Mr. Gillespie, to help me study for this test because I was determined that I was going to be able to get a license to teach children. So I had taken the test before I left school several times. I stopped counting at 17. I remember going to the mailbox. I was in my early 20s. It was kind of cool outside. I remember going to the mailbox and I saw the envelope, and I'm thinking, okay, 1 point away, 2 point away. It was just normal for me to go and not pass. So this particular day, I went to the mailbox and I opened it up before I walked into my house, and I saw pass. That experience, that perseverance right there, that experience is what is pushing me through this journey. Because every time I think about how many times I could have given up, and I have friends to this day who've never passed the practice test 17 times, 18 times. It cost me over $100, and I didn't have any money back then, but I figured it out. It cost me over $100 every time I had to take that math test, and I just kept saying, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take it again. 1 point away. I'm going to go find my math teacher. I'm going to go get some books. I remember being in my mama's house, paying rent for that room, studying. And that perseverance was it got me through, and it gets me through today with my business. Because my mind always goes back to that practice test.
Yes.
Girl, you can do it. Keep trying.
Absolutely.
Regardless of how you feel, do it again. Do it again. Keep hiring people. Hire the wrong staff so you can learn from your mistakes, because I know all the mistakes that I made is what I'm going to coach my people on. You're going to know what I've done so you don't have to go through what I've done. I put it all in the book. Every mistake. People come and they go through Listen, when they going through that 90-day process, I hand them the book. They look at me like I'm crazy. I said, these are all of my mistakes, and you want to read them because we don't make the same mistakes twice. And they say,
That's right. I never experienced this before. I hear it all the time. Nobody's ever taken me through this journey. And guess what? All of them don't make it through 90 days. And I don't even care, because that's the whole purpose. I'm going to wean out the ones who don't do what you're supposed to do. I'd rather get rid of you early than later. And my parents know if they have an all black, they're training. They might not make it. Trust the talent. They might not make it. Yes. It's those who are willing to persevere. Yes, and fail forward, because you're going to, like you said, you're going to make mistakes. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. That's so good. That's so good.
That practice test, honey, can nobody tell me, anybody, they can't tell me they can't keep going. You know how many times I failed that?
Yes.
17 times, but keep taking it. And it said,
that's
red, big print, pass. I couldn't believe it. And guess what? I would never let my teacher's license expire. I'm in the process of renewing it as we speak. I said, oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, if it's I got to take that test again. I said, oh, no, I've not been in the classroom since 2007. I renew my license every 3-4 years with DC Public Schools, because you never know. I always say, you never know. You might have to go get your good government job back. You never know.
So please share with the listeners what is coming up on the horizon for you.
Okay. So I am preparing to officially launch Jameela Allen and Company Coaching Business. My business consultant just formally found my business name. I have an IEN number and a separate bank account. Hey! So I'm working on because I'm excited on moving forward. I'm working on finishing up with Jameela Allen branding with the eWomen Network, and my podcast, Child Care Biz with Jameela Allen, will be airing very soon. And I'm excited to have the Sandra Yancey, my personal mentor coach, who is the CEO of the eWomen Network Group, to interview me on my first podcast. So I'm overjoyed to have women like Sandra guiding my steps as we both go through this business journey. I mean, we all have the same issues, but I just enjoy being up under a woman who making multiple 30 million, 50 million. These are the types of people I get exposed to just being up under Sandra Yancey. It's amazing, amazing. So to stay tuned and continue to follow me on social media, because you will hear and see more of Jameela Allen as the $1 Million Child Care business owner.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your amazing story and journey. If you could mention to the listeners some of your, social media handles, your website, how they can stay connected with you and support your efforts.
I am Jameela Allen on Facebook, Jameela Allen, Allen. I'm also Jameela Ball Allen on Facebook at my website. I am not revealing my website for my coaching business yet because it's going to come out with my launch, but you can follow me on Themba, THEMBACLC.com. My new email is jallen@jameelaallen.com. And my LinkedIn is Jameela Y. Allen. I also have a closed Facebook group, which is called Child Care Center Owners Only. So if you are in the child care industry and you've been in business for at least 5 years and you have at least 50 staff, you will be able to join my closed Facebook group so we can bring value to each other.
It has truly been an honor and a pleasure to have you as a guest on the show. Thank you again. Thank you so much, Jameela, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to give the opportunity, to me to interview you. I wish you much success and blessings as you continue on your journey.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate your time as well.
So, listeners, thank you for tuning in to tonight's show with our special guest, Jameela Allen. Jameela shared her amazing story and journey and shared insight for how important it is to empower and add value to each other every day. And remember, in order to grow, one must be able to persevere in tough times. If you are interested in being a guest on the show, starting your own radio show, or low-cost advertising, highlighting your book, business, or event, please email envisionedb@empoweronpurpose.com. Please tune in next week where you will hear an amazing story and journey from another leader, influencer, and motivator. Until next time, be blessed.
Thank you for listening to the Empower Hour with Jaresha, where Jaresha speaks with leaders, influencers, and motivators who share their journeys in personal and professional growth, empowerment tips, lessons learned, and keys of success that will empower you to be your best self. Follow Jaresha on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jaresha Moore, and visit empoweronpurpose.com. And remember to be intentional and be empowered, and have a great day on purpose.